The first settlers who came to Kenya, for instance, the Bazungu who were brought from Ireland and Scotland and England and settled in the highlands. The same year they were brought, 1910, 1909, they found they would take them over into the countryside, dump them there, they give them resources, and they start building. This is what they were doing in that time, because they had already pacified the Kikuyu and the Maasai, and even us here. But what happened was that the Bazungu they brought, the whites who were brought there, within weeks, were already speaking Swahili. Not only that, they began dressing like Maasai. Not only that, they stopped building and went and stayed with the Maasai in the kraals. So now there was an incident where they would say there's a market day in Nairobi, and the Africans would come to shop, and they would come with their white wives and white husbands, and everybody is dressed the same. So the British administrators were shocked, and they said, these people have become native. So they filed a complaint, and that's when they passed a rule in 1911 prohibiting miscegenation. That is, no cultural mixing, no racial mixing. Had that law not been passed, the whites who came here would have now been assimilated. They would all be called Kagwa or I don't know, Mukasa, you know. The situation where whites continue to exist as a separate race of people in Africa is a product of legislation. It's not a natural situation. There is no way to enforce that. The only way to prevent people from marrying each other is by force, by this law. That's how the enforcement happened. But in fact, if they had not done that, even the colonial project would have failed. I mean, they went into Kenya and they found people already pierced with their ears and their Maasai, and they're like, oh, no, we're not from, England, very nice, but we're now from here, that's it, don't bother us. And the British were pissed off, and they said no. So they actually had to go break people's families up and warn them and stop them from mixing. So the thing is this, that European control has happened through a fluke of corruption and of going against human nature, of doing things that are against the normal instinct of a human being. So, but that's not sustainable. European control will end, and what will happen, what will replace it is normal trade, fair trade. You do something for me nicely, I pay you. If we are friends, maybe our children will stay together, maybe not, but there is none of that I control you and you're my subject and I can steal from you anytime. That has to end. So we have gotten to a point where the system is now very transparent in terms of how you see things.